people? This is Jay Cuttz, Salvaequa. We're here with another segment of the meaning of life. And of course, we're sharing this beautiful day and blessing of life and experience with my fellow guest, Johnny Davidson, aka Johnny Dangerously.
Hello, guys. Johnny Davidson here from, you already know, Staten Island Talks with your host, Johnny Davidson.
Staten Island Talks, the place for Staten Island-based themes and conversations, of course. So, Johnny, speak to us more about your show, about what you got going on, your inspirations, man. What's up?
Right now, I know that lately of my audience probably wondering what's going on with my show. Right now, I just put on the side because I'm in the middle of doing and getting my CDL license. So that's why you guys haven't been seeing a lot of videos coming from my channel that y'all subscribe to.
I got you, bro. Speak to us about your CDL, man. How's your training going? You know, talk to us about information that can be useful to people that are inspiring to be a future trucker or a bus driver, in your case, school bus.
Right. If y'all have a passion of driving a heavy vehicle or whatever, tanker to city buses or whatever, go get your license, do your permit test, and you got to study real hard for that too, because you got it depends on the tests you do. Like for me, for instance, I got to do 4. I got to do general knowledge, air brakes, passenger, and the vehicle itself, which is the school bus.
Exactly. Speak to us about the technicalities behind the procedures when taking a road test, like the ABC, abrasion, bulges, and cuts, and bent, cracked, or broken, BCB.
Right. So when I first got into the class in March 1st, before my birthday, and my birthday is on March 14th, so I was like 22 at that time when I started. They took me to the yard Friday, and we started with under the hood inspection. So you start off with the wiring box, and that it's properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. And if you're dealing with hoses, it's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Like the little hoses that carry the fluids and that air in it. But when you're in that school, you don't know which hose is carrying what. That's the instructor said. So you just say there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and it's properly mounted and secure. You can't forget to say that at the end.
Properly mounted and secure to the firewall is an example, right?
Yeah. So the wirings, there's no abrasion. It's not frayed, burnt, or smell burnt. So when you're talking about wires, like this one, you gotta look at it, and you also have to point at it and say, instructor, my wirings, it's not burnt, smell burns, and it's not frayed, and it's properly mounted and secured to the firewall and the vehicle of the engine. And then with the little hoses, like to your radiator and everything that carry fluids, but on that you won't tell which one is carrying fluids and air. So you have to say, instructor, my hoses leading from my engine to the radiator or wherever your hoses are going. So you'd be like, my hoses, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts.
Exactly. From the time that you started.
Sorry.
And it's what?
Sorry. And it's properly mounted and secured. Can't forget to say that like I just did.
Exactly. And from the time that you started to right now, you grew a lot in your knowledge of the CDL testing styles and the procedures that you've learned and that you've been able to gain as far as knowledge and information are extremely useful, right, in this path of the road test that you're going to eventually take, you know. So I would see it as you sort of feeling now more confident than you were in the beginning, right, when you first started this, you know.
Right.
you showcased a lot of intelligence, I would say, by absorbing a lot of this knowledge. Would you say it was challenging for you, or it's just more like natural because you're hearing it over and over, since you have been showing up to the CDL school even more than me, you know?
Honestly, when you first got the guy on my show, and my audience would know, my subscribers would know, the guy that I had, and also Jay, he invited me and Jay to the school, and then just try to work stuff out to get into the schooling of his. And when I first got in there, I thought it was easy, but no, it's actually hard. And especially the job I'm wanting to do in the future, I have to do four tests, but I'm taking 2 at a time. I did general knowledge so many times, it's not even good. You have to really study, because when you really study, that's when it all pays off.
Exactly. We've been studying a lot for the test. I did pass one. I do have to go for more, but we have been doing what we can to, move forward with this agenda and purpose of being actual CDL holders and being examples, right? Because, again, we will be held to the highest standards according to the laws and the morale of the road, since we will be the largest vehicles, And to let people know, normally with your Class B, you just have to pass 2 tests, which is air brakes and knowledge. But because he's doing school bus, he needs passenger, endorsement, and school bus. And me, for my Class A, I'll need the combinations on top of the knowledge tests and air brakes. And this is not counting like hazmat. If I want to go for hazmat, I also have to pass that test, tanker endorsement as well, because that's usually, in affiliation with the hazmat jobs because of gasoline trucks and stuff like that. So it just goes to show you, like, it's more than what people think. They just think, hey, you just get your CDL and you could do whatever you want. No, you need endorsements to properly know how to conduct yourself right with these special vehicles. Is there any words that you have of inspiration for the youth, people that want to follow this positive path, of course, in life?
All I know is, if y'all have a passion in your heart of the dream job that you want, go for it. Find a school and study.
Exactly. And what exactly is your ultimate dream in this path of trucking and of busing and all of that? I heard before that you said you wanted to start a company.
Yeah, when I was little, I told my middle school teachers, I said I wanted to be, when I grow up, I want to be a school bus driver. And then time after life growing up, and I tell it to my dad's friends, and they're all like, oh, he's gonna grow out of that dream, because when you're little, people say, oh, they're not gonna stay in that dream forever. They're gonna grow up and want to become something serious and easy, like ShopRite or this and that. But I stuck to the dream that I wanted of being a school bus driver until I got into this class of March of 2025.
Exactly. And is there any particular type of connection that you see between your dream and where you want to go at in the future right now?
Me right now, I want to get this permit and just start making money, because I already told you my plans after my CDL, and I'm sticking to that goal.
I got you, which is also to go down south.
Yeah, because New York, is expensive. And me, I was gonna go to Texas, but I know if I want to work again as a bus driver, I would have to do Texas freaking state thing, how they do it, because not every state is gonna be the same. So once I get my permit and license and do all those stuff, that's when I'm gonna start building up, and that's when I'm gonna get the car on the road, and then also do the Tesla after that, and then but still do my school bus job at the same time. So save up as I'm going.
Exactly. That's great, man. And I believe that you also said that you wanted to go to Texas because of the laws, regarding like having a legal firearm and being able to protect yourself, which is one of the reasons why I also want to go to Texas to practice my rights as an American.
Yeah, I want to go there because of the firearm, but not just only because of the firearm. Okay, I'm not like that. I want to go there because of the weather, and the houses down there are a little cheaper. And if you look at the videos in Texas, whatever part, they're like cheap down there, and you live in like I watched one of these videos. The guy said in this video, it's cheap living, but it's like a mini mansion that you're living in.
Well, of course, with lower rates, right, in rent and in food supplies and in particular resources, you can see it as a more, fair opportunity, right, for you to thrive in a new city, right, with new people, a new culture, and
right. And then plus, Texas is not really like New York City where they're all like where they're all like bunched up together like a table. Texas is like more spaced out, and you could do whatever you want. If you want a dream house that you want, you could take that anywhere. But me, if I want a dream house and I want it to be bigger than the table or whatever, I'll do it in Texas. Texas is easy.
It is a larger state than New York. Even California is a larger state than New York, which is why it also produces more finances each year. And I was surprised because, people say New York City is the capital of the world, but California has a budget and a profit margin that exceeds that of New York City or New York State. Probably because of the resources. Since it's a more tropical environment, they could probably grow more vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, even though apples do grow here in the state of New York, and we do got some bears, right? Upstate.
Yeah.
There's some bears, there's deers and stuff like that here on Staten Island, It's a beautiful place, but I guess, right, wherever you're from, you usually want to experience something that is different,
Right.
I got you. Speak to us about Staten Island, about your personal life in Staten Island, how you feel about the situation with Staten Island right now,
Staten Island right now, I know I heard some stuff on the news, but I don't really, I tell my friends and I tell people, I'm not a politics person. I don't even vote, even though my voice should be out there too. But my parents always taught me to express myself. I went to my dad one day and I told him I want to vote. He said, why? He said that, well, why you want to vote? I said, I want to put my voice out there. He said, okay, but that's up to you. That's why I didn't force you to vote, because I left it up to you if you wanted to vote or not.
That's great, though. I would say it's a very healthy dynamic, right, when autonomy is given to people by parent, by friends, by family members, people that actually love you, because it shows God's grace through freedom of choice. If God gave us freedom of choice, then who are people to take it away? Some people were raised in a family, particularly a very religious family,
right,
where if the girl or guy marries somebody outside of their religion, the family will disown them.
Turn the back against either you and her, or just in general.
They'll stop talking to them. They would like push them to the side. They'll be ostracized. In certain religions, not to get too much into political topics, because this can't touch upon politics due to human rights violations and particular religious laws that exist in certain nations of the world. But in certain parts of the world, it even goes as far as to family can actually kill each other off of stuff like that. So we got to be very thankful that we didn't come from a place like that or from a culture like that where it's just so strict, so religious, that where if you leave that religion as an example, the family will do something called it's called an honor killing. And it's called that because the logic behind that is that the family is restoring honor to their name for the member that left or that made them look bad due to religious or beliefs or cultural beliefs. So they're restoring honor, which is sick because if anything, they are dishonoring their family, because why would you hurt your family and then call it honor? But that goes to show you the ridiculous mindsets that exist in this world, and we just have to be thankful that we didn't come from that. We come from a place where we have autonomy, where we have freedom, and that's the healthy way to be about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. And your dad being an African, right? Have there been any stories that he told you about the homeland, Africa, about his upbringing, cultural wise too? Anything about culture, food,
not
anything
really.
you really like?
Not really, because we're in the same household, but we don't really talk like that because we're just doing our own thing like that. But I see what he does. He doesn't change for America. Since he came in, he still stays with the stuff that he likes. He's not all about the fast food, the pizza that we had today and all those other stuff. He's not all into that. He stays with his food tradition.
Do you also enjoy that food?
Him? Me? No, because I was born and raised in America, so I grew up on American food. I didn't grow up on African food.
So when it comes to cassava, when it comes to jerk chicken, fufu, to that spicy rice that they make in Nigeria, Ghana, and you don't like that?
No, he never.
I love jollof rice.
I never even did it when I was little because I literally grew up in New York. So I didn't grow up around. I did grow up around that, but I didn't grow up like eating it, because I was usually while growing up, you're usually with your mother a lot or your dad, and I was mainly with my mother a lot growing up. So I wasn't really introduced to all that.
But you do know what that is, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And then also on top of that, I'm not a spice person. My dad is. That's another reason why I just don't try it, because when he orders it, he likes it spicy. I can't.
Spicy food is delicious. I remember they had this spot in Park Hill. It was an African store, which was like up the block from you almost, from us. And they had some of the best, probably the best African food I ever had in my life. Very spicy, but just so delicious. It's not like anything I've ever tasted. It doesn't even compare to Spanish food. You could say Spanish people have rice and chicken like them, but just the way they make it, it's a different world. And I'm so sad that they closed down, because that was one of the best food stores in the neighborhood. They should have maintained their business, but I understand that stuff happens.
Yeah. The only closest thing I get to, the only closest thing I'll eat to spice is a spicy chicken sandwich, and that's really it. But I can't do that hot sauce or all this other stuff. I can't.
From where? From Wendy's, McDonald's?
Usually I get a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, and that's really it.
All right. Well, I've tried those sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. It isn't top Popeyes, but still some good food. Speak to us about your future inspirations as far as like your love life in the future. Like, what type of woman is the kind of woman that would make you want to build a life, and have a family with her.
Well, right now I am on the single board, but right now I don't want to get into a relationship right now. That's not on my agenda right now, because I want to get myself together. Because right now, where everything is right now, I just don't want to go out there. I don't, honestly.
I got you, but I'm saying when you get to that point, what type of woman would be the type of woman that you would want? Just so they can know. What do you mean you don't know? You have to have an idea, man. What there has to be.
You can't have an idea and then say, you can't say this and then you don't end up with that, because you could. Everybody's acts different. You could say, oh, I want this type of person, but when you go to all of them, they act differently. But when you go into this person, they're not the ones that you asked, but they're like in that bucket list of what you asked. You know what I mean?
Like, you could say you want all these things, but then when you get it, you'll see that that's probably what you didn't want. because you should have been focusing on, I guess, more inner qualities than just physical beauty or attraction.
Right.
That's what you're saying. So you could like.
But I don't really care about all the beauty. Actually, the beauty, yeah, here and there. But I want to know just the personality. That's what I like. Personality. That you act yourself and all this other stuff. Because you go for the nice people, they act different. And believe me, that's why I had one, but she didn't care all about getting to know each other and all those other stuff. She just cared about herself. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna date.
You'll find that out
I'll
here.
just let it be to the side, and I'll let the earth and God do his job.
I like that. Of course, like that's a very positive way to see it. You want a woman from God, right? That's of God, right? That's for you, for real, not just superficially, not just because of your success or the good things that are going on. And as far as like what you described, what you're basically saying is she could be from any racial group. You just want her to be real with you. You want her to be honest. You care more about the inner qualities. She could be Asian, it doesn't matter. She could be European, it doesn't matter. African, Spanish, Pakistan, Indian. But as long as she's don't laugh. There's some good looking Indian women. Y'all, holla at me, all right? If Johnny's not gonna take you, I will holla at me. There's some good looking Indian women out here.
He's right there.
I'm brown anyway. Look, man, I'm almost Indian. They say I was singing an Indian song. Matter of fact, do you want to sing an Indian song? Because I know a whole bunch of Indian songs, man. What's up with that, man?
Go ahead. You can sing one if you want to.
You got to join me though.
He's on the menu. He wants to date me. Not yet. I'll let them do. I'll let up there do the job. All right.
No, I like that. I like that. You know what? It's not necessarily that. Yeah, I would. Of course, it's fun, to date and to get to know new women and appreciate their beauty and learn about their culture and stuff like that. But there comes a point of time in a man's life, right, where he wants to settle, and not settle in a negative way, but he wants to really have that, wife for life.
Right. But then you also got people who don't want to live all that life. They probably just want to live the single life forever. Not like dating anybody, like probably just want to be by themselves mentally and everything.
And if it makes them happy, then that's the most important thing. But if it also makes you happy to spend it with somebody, then, But this is the thing, right? I believe...
Yeah, in the future, because all the stuff that I'm asking for. But the job and career that I picked, I could live happy with that.
No, and that's good. Look, we should be happy whether we are
with
on our own or with a woman.
Ourselves.
Yeah. So we should be happy. There's people that are miserable just because they're not in a relationship, and that's very unhealthy. You know why? Because a woman, for the most part, right? I'm saying for the most part because there's exceptions, will join a man, right, that is living a fulfilling life. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't include misery. That doesn't include depression. That doesn't include insecurity. That includes the man living a satisfying, happy life. And his light is shining so bright that she wants to join him. So it's a very beautiful thing for Johnny Davidson in specific to be focusing on shining that brightness in his life, right, with happiness and fulfillment and positivity, because that's going to radiate amongst the environment. And the woman that will be for you will look at that and will say, hey, how can I not join when this is so beautiful, for example, the entire experience, So it's something good to look forward to. You're still young, man, and I really hope that you find a woman that loves you until the end, and for you.
Yeah, and plus, I'm not trying to do all that hook up and then break up and hook up again, because that all leads to depression and all those other stuff. And me, I'm a Pisces. That's my zodiac sign, and I tend to, like, once I'm dating somebody, I tend to fall easily. That's another reason why I don't accept nobody until I get myself together.
Yeah, I'm not really into astrology as much because it's more of a generalized statement. But what I could say is this. you're not the only one, and this is bigger than zodiac signs. It's human nature, right, to have empathy, have compassion, see connection, and even feel heartbroken when things don't go the way that you would like them to go. So you can attribute that to human experience, because even I have been hurt a lot, and I have been through situations where you can say I almost felt like crying, for example, even if I don't do it publicly. Of course I'm not gonna do, I'm a real man, but I've been in situations like that where I could tell you, man, it hurts, but if we don't take the risk, right, how are we gonna really find a reward within that risk? Even to drive a school bus or a tractor trailer, there's a risk of danger, but the reward is so high because of the risk. So I would say in life, taking calculated risk can be for your own good, as long as you know how far you want to go in life with this particular risk, and as long as it's in moderation, meaning like don't put all the cards on the table for her, but allow her to see that she can get more and more as she continues to show you how trustworthy she can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like how you brought up the fact that you're leaving things in God's hands. But remember that as men, we got to take action. So when you see a chick that you like, it could be in God's hands, but take action, do what you can to present yourself to her in the best way possible, and see how it goes from there. Remember I seen that girl that I liked, like I was like, she was a good looking chick. She looked like she was like 21, 22. She was a little, I'm like 30, I'm in my 30s. So she was like a little younger than me, but I'm like, all right. And you seen, I went to go talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
And I even told him that day. I was like, hey, Johnny, I'm like, just sometimes you got to be a real man, boy. So this is one of those times, right?
But you also got to understand, I'm the youth. I'm young, and I'm trying to live life. I'm not trying to go quick and hook with everybody that I like. I'm just trying to get my life together and live my life. Just like the girls out there are trying to live their life. But as you said in that break room, how they wanted to live their life, that's why not really going for all that.
I got you. No, it's a healthy thing, like, especially if this is not something that you want to partake in. Hookup culture could be very desensitizing, right? It could also make people numb. It's like to the point where what you feel, where you feel like, for example, hurt, or you feel let down. It's like a lot of these people that take part in that hookup culture, they get so used to it, it doesn't even matter. Like, right. If she finds it difficult to work it, with somebody, with a guy that she met, but because she's so used to it, or because he's so used to it with this chick, they'll just go to the next person like nothing, like choosing a new pair of socks or something. There's a dehumanization factor in there.
That's also another thing too, because that's another thing. I don't like the hookups, because if I do start doing that, then I'm not going to have nobody in the future. That's why I want to save that for a special person. I just don't want to just go out there all willy-nilly, making people think that I'm a you know what boy. Like
a player, a hardcore player?
Yeah. I want to show them that, hey, I'm a man who wants a dream job and going for their dream job. That's the people, and like the ladies or whoever, that's what they probably half of them want to look for. The people who are passionate about the dreams that they want. So there's going to be one day that somebody's going to like me, because they hear all the personalities and the passion it's about that I want to do in the future.
Exactly.
Because me, it's not also about just getting to know the person. It's also about being there for your ups and downs.
Riding until the end.
Yes. And there've been like, I think 1 or 2 people I've been with, and they wasn't there when I was down.
Unfortunately, that happens.
But when I got up, then they came back, and I said, no, you wasn't there when I was down. You actually left me when I was down.
I had to address particular females in the past about stuff like that, and you're right. Do you know why? Because this is the thing, right? She wants you again when you're doing good, but if you were to fall back into hard times, She already shows you what she can do. How are you going to trust somebody like that?
Right. And that's why I said I'm going to wait until the future. Just wait. I'm just going to wait until I find a person that gets along with me. That
God has for you.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. You know, I could see you with a woman that's very well spoken like you, you know, that is loyal, you know, that's very beautiful, of course, you know, and for you to know that, you know, she'll be for you 100%, you know, until the end of time. One of the most beautiful things that we can experience out here, you know, as human beings. I guess it's time to wrap up this show, Johnny Davidson, or should I say Johnny Dangerously, you know? There's anything else you want to say?
I don't know. But y'all stay tuned. I'm probably give my personal Instagram on the YouTube so you guys could see what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis. I just posted a video yesterday.
That's what it is. So y'all already know, if any of y'all fly chicks out there want to holler at my boy Johnny Davidson in the future, right? The only exception right now would be if you're real 100%. That's the only thing, because this is the thing.
Yes, gotta be 100%.
No, this is the thing, right? You only get like one of those, maybe even two, max three, which I highly doubt in your life.
You might get somebody who wants to be there for your ups and downs, or you just get a person who don't care about all that and just care about your personality.
And if you find that right now, this is the thing. If you find that right now, take it, because you don't know if you're going to find that again when you're 30, when you're 28. You find that right now, take it. A lot of guys didn't take it, and now they're still looking at 30, 40, 50. But this is the thing, if it comes. Until then, bro, let's be happy. Let's follow our dreams, you know, CDL, have your own business, and, you know, we'll be the big shots in the future. All those people that did us dirty, all them chicks that rejected us, thought we were corny. You're going to see how cool we are right
just
now.
Wait until
Cuttz, Johnny Davidson.
Just wait. One day, you'll probably pull up with the tanker truck, and you might run into somebody that you used to be with, and watch. They might come up to the truck and be like, "Oh, come, let's go this and that," and you go and probably say no, because you wasn't there when I was down, and now you see me being up, driving a big shot truck or whatever, schoolie.
Yeah.
Then they want to see. Then they see you for your money.
And we'll be getting paid so much, like that won't even be an option. You know, at that point, I'll be like, hey, you know, when I was supposedly a loser in society, she didn't pay attention to me. Now I'm a hardcore gangster trucker, and she wants to tell me something, you know. Anyway, it's been another beautiful segment of The Meaning of Life. Shouts to my boy Johnny Davidson. May God bless him and his family. And I appreciate you people a lot. Stay safe.
Right.